Hi guys, what's up? Welcome to Flutter Helper, and in this crash course you will learn every single thing which is necessary for building an application. And in this crash course we'll build two types of application. One is counting app and other is quiz app. So let's start this course. Guys, I'm super excited and I hope you guys are excited as well. Now let's first talk about what is Flutter. Flutter is used to develop apps for both Android and iOS platform from single code base. Flutter is a framework and it uses Dart as its language. If you don't know anything about Dart, then it's okay, it's not a big deal. When we code together, then you'll learn about Dart and Flutter. With Flutter, you can develop high performance application. And with Flutter, it's super easy to build a highly interactive UI for your application. In Flutter, everything is a widget. Now you'll ask, what is widget? Widget is nothing, just a small piece of code. Like, for example, a clock and a calculator application in your desktop. That's it. It fall under the category of widgets. Okay. Now let's talk about what is stateless and stateful widget. Stateless widget, just remember anything on screen, it's not moving and not performing any task, it's a stateless widget. Like when you tap on button and nothing happen, so this thing fall under the category of stateless widget. Similarly, anything on screen which is moving and performing any task is fall under the category of stateful widget. Now let's talk about a different thing. Let's talk about a human body. Your body has a soul and your soul is a state. Without soul we won't able to do any work. Okay, now look at this example. Look, when I tap on this button, nothing happens because it's a stateless widget, which means button have no state or soul. Okay, now let's see the example of stateful widget. Now as you can see, when I tap on this button, the English number changes to 1, 2, 3 and so on. So this is the example of stateful widget, which means button have a state and a soul. Okay. So now it's time to implement what I told you. It's time to code. So let's start coding. After this basic series, we are going to build small apps, and after your concepts get cleared, then we'll move further and make a fully functional app like e-commerce. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Let's create our first app and I name it as counting. You'll know at the end of this video why I name it as counting. Don't worry about these red lines. These are because my internet is turned off. So don't worry, I turn it on. And this basics series is consist of only 4 to 5 episodes. That's it. Flutter is so super easy, so no problem. Now this is our app that we are going to build, and inside main we are going to build all our applications. And right now I'm going to cut all these lines and we learn step by step what are these, so don't worry. Now first import our material library. It's an important library. With this library we gain control to use all the widgets. Everything in Flutter is a widget, and every app has a main method. Without main it's not possible to execute our app. And inside main, this run app method is necessary. This method is responsible for running our app, and in this we want to run this my app class. So let's build my app class first. As I said, in Flutter everything is a widget, so class my app extends stateless widget, and to use its property we need to override its function like this, and we need to override its build method, which is responsible for building all the widgets inside the stateless widget. It's a syntax, so we need to write it like this every time, so don't worry. And I want to tell you one more thing. There is one more shorthand notation to write our void main method like this. Just arrow and this like this. It's totally on you how you want to write this. That's not a problem. and this build method returns a material app. And material app sets the limitation to all the widgets to fit into the screen. So we are using this as a root widget and all other widgets are child of it. I know it sounds little bit confusing in starting, so don't worry, your all concept gets cleared when you watch the 4 to 5 basics parts of Flutter basic series. So with don't worry, Flutter is super easy, and you'll love it. And inside material, we are going to add the theme, what color of theme that I want in my app. So I want kind of amber color in my as a theme. This material app bounce all the widgets, which means like photos, buttons, everything into the screen. That's it. And this is a scaffold. Scaffold consists of many properties we are going to learn in later part of this series, so don't worry. This is an app bar, and I'm going to name it as counting. No, it's stateless widget is the best because we are learning about stateless widgets. That's perfect. Now let's run our app. And right after running, you'll learn what is scaffold and everything. This is scaffold. This is app bar, and all the white part it's body. That's it. And inside this body, we are going to build all our applications. Put all our widgets like buttons, everything. That's it. I'll show you. Just wait. Inside body. Don't worry about this column and everything. We are going to learn about this in after the stateful widget section. So don't worry. In this section, we are only focused on what is stateless widget. That's it. So don't worry about this. We'll learn it later. Here we are passing text counting like this. See, this is counting, and we are going to let's put this counting in center. That's it. So I'm going to wrap this column in center. Center is a widget that's put all the things inside center. Now I'm going to give a little bit styling to our text. Styling means like I want to give it a font size, and font size of 20 is sufficient. That's it. Now I'm going to add a raise button here, and I'm writing on press like this because I don't want to provide any functionality to this button. In next I'll provide functionality, so just wait. And in this I want a text of sample appear on this button, like this. Oh, I forgot to add comma, like this. Let's give it a little bit color to this button. I guess orange is perfect. Now let's give a little bit padding. As you can see, counting and the button, we need little bit space between them. So padding is a widget for spacing between and around all the widgets. Just see, we are giving spacing to all the directions, like and like from left, right, bottom. That's it. It's basically padding is always used for provide spacing. And now as you can see, everything is in Flutter is a widget. Just remember one thing, anything is on the screen and it's not moving, not doing any work, it's a stateless widget. This button has performed no task, so this is a stateless widget. If you guys are excited to know more about Scaffold and Material app, you can go through this Flutter documentation, and I'll provide this link in description. In this section, I'm going to tell you what is stateful widget. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Now in this, I'm going to provide functionality to this button. When I tap on this button, counting of 1 to 10 appear on the screen. So we need to convert our stateless widget to stateful widget. Now write it like this: stateful widget, and we need to override create state. We need to write these 3 lines. Just wait, I'll tell you within a minute what are these. So have some patience. Now look, the first line in which we extend stateful widget is kind of dummy class. It won't perform any work. And now look at the third line, which is my app state. And this is the class which maintain all the states of the widget. And this second line, create state, means whenever we are creating state of widget, this class creates its state. And now you will ask, what is state? Just wait, I'll tell you. Watch this video till the end, your all doubts get cleared. So I'm just creating here a counter function. When I tap on this button, counting from 1 to 10 will get appear on the screen. So for this, we need to create our list of numbers. List is basically same like array, what you read it like in other languages, array, C++ or anything else. List is almost same. Now this list is of string type like ONE1, 2, this is. And here I am creating one variable which is named counting, and I call it as numbers. This is appear on the screen, and when I tap on button, numbers gets changed to 1, 2, 3. That's it. Now we are creating a method, or you can say function. I'm just storing this list of numbers inside our counting variable. Now it's a normal if else statement. If counter is less than 9, which means in array all the lists start from 0 to 9, which means are 10. Let's call it as num, otherwise it makes some confusion to you. So num is perfect. Now look, when I tap on sample, the num gets converted from 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. Now our function is get ready, and it's time to call our function inside our raise button on pressed method. Oh, counter is equal to counter plus 1. I'll forget it. Sorry, my bad. Now replace our counting variable to this counting. And here we are passing our function. That's it. Now it's perfect. Let's run our app. Now we have done all the code correctly. why we are not getting any output and there is not even a single error in the code. This is because we are changing state of this counting, which means when I hit button, the text counting is going to change its state to 1, then 2, then 3 till the end. So we need to wrap this text inside setState method. And this setState method, just wait, I'll tell you. First run our app. Now our app is working perfectly fine. SetState is a method which notifies the framework that the internal state of this counting has changed. Whenever you change internal state of anything, you need to call this SetState. And whenever we tap on this raise button, this build method recreates itself every time and show changes on the screen. This is the build method that I am talking about. There. Now congrats, we have built our first app successfully, and I'll assure you after this Flutter course you are capable of making any kind of app on your own. But for this you need to do one assignment. Now this is the app. Just do one thing. Just make your app like this. I'll show you. Now this, create app like this. When we tap on the X button, the numeric counting also appear on the screen. If you have completed this assignment, in the comments let me know. In this you need to do nothing extra, create one more list but with a numeric number like 1 2 3. If you learned something from this video, then do like, share, comment and subscribe. This means a lot to me. Now in this section, let's see what container, column and rows. So without wasting any time, let's get started. As you can see, this is the app that we worked on previously. So I'm using this app again for better understanding. First, let's see what is container. Now listen carefully. If you need some background styling, background color, or you need to change shape of anything, then you can use container. It also has a sizing property. You can give height and width to the container as well. Okay. Now wrap this center widget inside container. Now as you can see, this white part is a container because we use container as a body. Now for your better understanding, let's provide color to this container. Blue will be fine. Now look, as I am using container as a body, that's why it's filling the whole screen. Okay, and these widgets like center, column are all inside the container. We'll learn more about container in later part of this tutorial when we are building a quiz app. So that's it for container. Now move forward and let's see what are columns. So for column, just first understand the concept. Now here I'm using text widget as a body. Now let's reload the app. It's working fine. Now if I want to add one more text inside body, let's see what happens. Now as you can see, an error occurred. This is because body won't give access to multiple widgets. So to use multiple widgets, we need to use column. With columns, we are capable to use multiple widgets. That's it. Column is a widget used to display multiple child widgets in a vertical manner. And column also have two properties. I'll tell you what are those. So just wait for a minute. Have some patience. Now as you can see, there are multiple child widgets containing hello, and our app is also running fine. Now to explain more about columns, I'm going to use three raise buttons. Now as we learned earlier what are race buttons, so I am fast forwarding this part. Now see, all these race buttons are aligned in vertical manner. Now column has two properties. One is main axis alignment and other is cross axis alignment. Main axis of column is from top to bottom and cross axis is from left to right. Now first use main axis dot start. Nothing changed because by default main axis is aligned to start. Now center. Now look, all buttons are aligned in center, and as I said, top to bottom, this is the center. Okay, let's see what happens when we use space around. Now there are many properties like this: dot space around, dot center, and also dot space evenly. You need to play around with these to get more understanding about this. So now here we are using cross axis alignment. As I said, cross axis alignment is from left to right. Now nothing happens. Similarly, by default cross axis is set to start. Let's see. uh, let's stretch. Let's use stretch. Now as you can see, buttons get stretched from left to right. Just play, as I said, just play around with these to get better understanding. For the tutorial, that's perfect. Now it's time to see what are rows. Rows are totally similar to columns. The difference is, as the name suggests, rows, all widgets are aligned in horizontal direction, and for rows main axis is from left to right and cross axis is from top to bottom. Okay, now let's change this main axis alignment dot start to end. Now, now as I said, main axis is from left to right, so buttons are aligned to end. Now rows are totally same as columns, so I am fast forwarding this part, but at a so slow speed, so that if you want to know more about this, about row, you can watch a tutorial. Okay, and in this section I am going to tell you what is fitted box and wrap. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So first we'll see what is fitted box. For your better understanding, I am going to add around 6 or 7 race button in a single line, so I'm going to fast forwarding the video. Just wait for a minute. Now as you can see here, I have around 6 race buttons. If you have more widgets and less space like this, and you want to align all the widgets in a single line, you can use fitted box for these kind of scenarios. Just wait, I'll show you. Just wrap fitted box inside this row. Oh, sorry. Fitted box. Now as you can see, all the raised buttons are aligned in single lines. No matter what how many widgets, the property of fitted boxes, it sets limitation to the widgets so that they won't go out of bounds. I hope you'll understand the point. So now let's see what is wrap. Now as you can see, we are using same scenario for you for your better understanding what is wrap, like we did in fitted box. And this time we are going to remove this row. That's perfect. And again, if you have more widgets and less space like this, just wrap the widget inside this wrap and you will see the remaining buttons align itself. Just wait, I'll run the app. The widgets align automatically like this. Just wait, like this. They align automatically. The remaining buttons are automatically shifted to the next line. You can also give direction to the wrap, that how you want to wrap your widgets, like horizontally or vertically. Just give a little bit padding to after every button so you can understand more. Now see, now I'll guess you'll get a what is wrap. Now it's time to build a quiz app. First I'll show you what kind of quiz app we are going to build, so it will give you better idea about functionality of this app. As you can see in this app, here is a score of game will appear and a reset button. And the good amazing thing about this app is it has snack bar. When I tap on true and false button, a snack bar containing a correct or incorrect message will pop up. So this is the app that we are going to build. Now let's create this app, and I name this app as quiz. First code the basics. Now in home I'm going to call our homepage class. Now let's create our homepage class. Stfull. In VS Code there is a short notation of stfull and stless. Stfull for stateful widget and stless for stateless widget. As you can see, when I tap on stless, the boilerplate code of stateful widget will appear. It saves a lot of time. Now let's run our app. Now as you can see, the color of the app bar I provide is yellow, but in this I am using a different shade of yellow. For this I am using a specific shade of yellow which is called a hex code value. Hex code value is a 6-digit value of a color code. To use hex code value, to Google it, or to know more about hex code value, I'll drop the link of color picker in description. You can check this out. And this is how you are going to apply hex code value. 0 into ff for fully opaque, and after this a 6-digit hex code value. Now let's reload our app. Now it's perfect. Let's move this title to center. For this we need to make center title true. Now let's again reload our app. Now it's perfect. Now let's provide body in scaffold, and I am using container as a body, and inside container I am using a column, and inside column I am providing image first. As you can see, we are providing this image first. After this all other widgets like what box and raised button. So this is how you will implement image in Flutter. image, then small I, then image, then here asset image. Now to add image, you need to create a folder in location of your app, and name this folder as images, and I'm going to paste the image inside this image folder. Now look, just wait. This is the image that I want to use in my app, and I'm going to copy this and paste this image inside images folder. Now I paste this image in images folder, and first let's change of the name of this image, and I rename this as quiz. It makes sense because we are building a quiz app. That's fine. Now let's go to pubspec.yaml. Inside uncomment the assets part. Here is an assets. Now uncomment this. You need to be very specific about spacing. You need to place assets right before uses material in same line like this, and here provide location to your image. My image folder name is images and image name is quiz. Now let's save this and copy this image path and paste this image path inside our here images asset images. Now let's paste. Now it's perfect. Let's run our app. Now it's good, but the thing is, this is not a good way to implement images in your app. The all better of implementing image is always wrap your image inside container. Why I'm using container? Because when you are making a responsive UI, container helps you a lot in maintaining the proper height and width of your image. That's it. And this is how we gonna use images inside container. Now to make images fit in container has a property, use box fit property to fit your images inside container properly, and give a width and height of the image. Height of 400 will be sufficient. Now let's see. Now it looks perfect. Now let's add a box inside below this image. Now this is the box that I am talking about. For this we're going to use another container. Now inside box decoration, provide a border radius. Yes, dot circular, and I guess radius of 12 will be fine. Let's see. I'm also going to give a border color. For border color, I'm going to use that same hex code because this is the image path that we are following. So I'm providing the same color as of my app bar, like this. Hex code, same hex code value. This is the hex code value. Why it's giving me an error? Oh, I forgot to add color in front of this color, like this. Now it's good. Let's give a height and width also. Now reload our app. Let's see what happens. We need to resize our container, and height of 90 and width of 400 will be sufficient. Oh, it's 90 not 9, sorry. Now it's good. Let's give a little bit padding also. I need padding from top. Padding is basically whenever you need to use space, you need just use padding or size box, whatever you want. Now let's run. Now it's perfect. Now let's add some text inside this box. Quiz. We're going to change this text later when we are providing functionality and in inserting our questions of the quiz. Now to align this text we need to use column, and as column has two properties which is called cross axis alignment and main axis alignment. Cross axis alignment in column is from left to right and in main axis top to bottom. So let's wrap this text inside column. Let's give a cross axis alignment to center. Now let's see. Now as I said, cross axis alignment is from left to right and it's already placed in center. We also need a main axis alignment to align this text properly. Now it's perfect. Now let's provide raise button to this quiz. I'm using row, and inside row I'm using raise buttons. Why I'm using row? Because I want to align two buttons in a row. You will understand, I guess. I'm going to provide this on press functionality a little within a minute. Be patient. First, let's finish our UI. To make the size bigger of raise buttons, we need to give padding like this. Padding is from inside and margin is from outside. If you are confused between what is padding and margin, just comment down and I'll make another video tutorial in which I am going to explain what difference between padding and margin. If you want, then comment down. And here I am going to add a shape property to this raise button, and here again I am using a border radius dot circular. Now let's give a text color true. I want to give a text color of white to this true text and a bold texture. I'll provide source code of this app in description. Go to my GitHub repository. There you'll find the source code. And if you're learning something from this video, guys, do subscribe, comment and like to my channel. This means a lot to me, because this is the only way that you can support me. Okay, so now let's continue our video. Now as you can see, we have successfully completed our UI. Let's give a background color also. Background color in a body of scaffold. That's why. Look. Now it's perfect. Now our UI part is complete. Let's provide functionality to our app. To add multiple questions, we need to use a list. And inside list, I'm going to implement a 10 questions which I need for this quiz application. Fine. So let's name this quiz as Q text. Sorry. Now for simplicity of code and your better understanding, let's create a model class. In model class, I'll declare a variable and a constructor only, and I name this class as questions. if you don't understand what I'm doing, just wait for a minute. When the app gets runs, your all doubts will be cleared. So I'm using string qtext. In this variable I'm going to store my questions, and is correct is a boolean value which is true or false answer to my questions. Just wait, I'll show you. And let's rename this as q list. Now cause it's a list of questions now, that makes sense I guess. Now import the model class. Now here we are using constructor of our model class. Now you, if you have any kind of confusion, here you'll all doubts get cleared. Now this is the question. The human body has 4 lungs. The answer is false. That's the human body is a q text and false is a is correct part. I guess you will understand what I'm trying to say. And here are all the 10 questions that I'm using for this app. Now let's see if this our model class works or not. To this, let's give a q list which is our question list and 0 index. 0 index means first question. Now let's run this app. It's good. Now here are all the question and answer of the quiz. Now to provide functionality to our button so that when we tap on button our question gets changed and we move to next question. For this we need to provide a counter, and counter is I give initial value of counter is equal to 0. Cause 0 is because I want my first question to appear first, as in is a list. You know about indexing that first element is start from 0, that's why 0 1 2 3. So in list here are 9 10 and 10 elements, and indexing starts from 0 to 9. So when I initially provide value of counter is equal to 0, which means I want my question first. So let's make a method so that it can check whether our answer is correct or not. For this, here I am using a bool user choice. User choice is basically your choice if you tap on true or false. User choice like this. If user choice, which means suppose if I tap on true and the answer is also true, then if user choice is equal to q list, counter means on which question. Now if user choice is equal to our question and answer is also true. If you have any kind of doubt regarding this function, when I am implementing this function in raise button, your all doubts gets cleared. Just wait for a second. Now here we are using our function in raise button so that when we tap on our raise button it gives us a result whether the answer is true or false. So here it's for false button. So here I am using false. False is user choice. And here I am using check. Here I am adding user choice equal to true. If user choice equal to true, then answer is correct. Now let's run our app. Look at this. If we tap on true, false, that's correct. Now let's see another question. So to provide the next question, we need to add counter here, like q list counter dot q text. Now to make this functionality happens, that's when we tap next question changes. For this we need to use a if else statements for this counter, and counter is starts from 0 to 9. We need to use this if else statement inside set state. Now let's see, if I tap, it works perfectly. Kelvin is a measure of temperature, that's true. Look, the answer is correct. Our logic is perfectly fine. So now let's add a snack bar to our application. Let's add snack bar. This is how you will implement snack bar in Flutter. Content, inside content, use text what you want, and I want correct to be appear in my snack bar, and scaffold dot of context. I'll explain you about this build context and context part within a minute. First, let's run this app and paste this for false part also. Snack bar always uses a build context type, but this means this context that we are using in snack bar is different from the context we are using in build method. So let's pass this context here as well. Now let's run our app. Now this gives me error. Look, when I tap on this button, then an exception was thrown. Now this is the error that I got. Just listen carefully one thing that I'm going to tell about what is build context. Build context is an object that knows all about the structure of our app and our user interface, where things are placed like container, column, and all our widgets. That's why we need to pass build context method every time when we are constructing our app. In simpler words, build context is a tree and all the widgets like container, column are its branches. And the trees knows, or you can say it sets the locations of all the widgets like container, column, and everything. Now this error occurs. Now this error occurs because we are using different context. Look this. We are using different context outside of build method. It means this context is different from this context. For your better understanding, I am going to rename above context. Now in simpler words, we are using different context, and this ctx is different because we are using it in a method and which is outside our build context. The method that we are using check main is we build this method outside our build method. That's why the snack bar using a different context. Now let's run this app, and what the solution of this error? The solution of this error, to use different context inside a build method context, you need to use builder. Now let's use a builder property. Now here we are using builder property. Now this builder method builds space for this ctx inside this context. That's it. Now let's run our app. Let's see whether it's working or not. Let's press true. Yeah, that works perfectly. I guess you'll know this concept. If you have any doubt about this snack bar and all about this app, just ask your all doubts in a comment section. I'm going to answer all your doubts. Now let's add a color and a duration also. Let's give a duration of this snack bar and a color, background color as well. For correct, we are using background color as green. And copy paste this same property inside incorrect part. True, correct. What's the problem that, oh, we are using a same, I forgot to edit the things that I copy and pasted. Now it's perfect. Now let's give a score and reset button. For this we are going to use another container, and inside container we are using row cause we need these two score and reset button in a row. That's why I'm using row here. Let's give a text of score, and here I'm using 10 questions in a quiz and every question is of 5 weightage, so that's 50. Let's give it a text style little bit. I'll provide a color of brown. Brown is looks good with this thing, and a font weight dot bold. Now let's add a reset button also. For this reset button, I'm going to use a different approach. I'm using text here. Reset button. Let's also provide some styling here. Let's give this a font size of 18, and I'm going to provide a red accent color to this text. Now let's run our app. Let's give a main axis spacing. Main axis for row is from left to right and cross axis for row is from top to bottom. Now it looks perfect. Now let's provide functionality to this score. For this we are using a same approach. Just wait, I'll show you. For score, initially I want score is equal to 0, and whenever my answer is correct, we need to increment of plus 5. Okay, so if my answer is correct, then score is equal to score plus 5. We need to give an increment of 5 in score. Now if my answer is incorrect, I'm going to increment score with a 0 value. That makes sense. Score is equal to score plus 0. Now let's run our app. First implement this function inside this score. Sorry, not function, a score variable. In that there is a property To call any variable inside text, just add a dollar notation, dollar sign in front of score. Now see, now our score value is ready to use. Let's run this app. Now see, answer is true. Yes, you as you can see, the increment of 5 will appear. Now 10. Now this thing works perfectly fine. Let's provide functionality to our reset button. There is a very good property which is called inkwell. If you wrap anything inside inkwell, it gives you many properties, and one property is also any text which you wrap inside inkwell, it provides a on tap property like this. See, when I'm give a, let's give a on tap here. Now let's run our app. Now see, a reset game text are converted into a button. That's good. Now let's make another method for reset function, and it is very different. We are very easy. We are just setting for reset. We need to set a value of score is equal to 0 and a counter is equal to 0. Counter is equal to 0, which means first questions, that whenever we tap on resets, our question changes from first and scores changes to 0. That's it. Now let's test this out. Let's restart our app. Now let's compare this also. We have make a same app. That's good. If true, sorry, it's false, so then it's not incrementing. And we tap on reset. Let's see. Now our game is reset. That's perfect. I always forgot to remove one thing, and the thing is this debug banner. So how to remove this? Just go to material app, on the top, and here enter debug show mode checked this line and make it false. Now let's run our app. Now as you can see, the debug banner has removed. Guys, this video is getting too long, so I'm not going to add a splash screen here. I've already created a full detailed video regarding splash screen, how to implement and what is splash screen. I'll provide that link of my video in description. Go there and watch that video if you want. If you learned something from this video, guys, do like, share, comment, and do subscribe my channel. It means a lot to me. Thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day.